Call meeting to order. Roll call.
Mayor Westcott.
Yes.
Bowler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Bolton. Reese.
Is there anyone here for public forum? Okay, consent agenda, any additions or corrections? Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Bolton. Bowler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Reese. Yes.
We have everything on the building permits?
Yeah, just, so the sketch here is the sketch of Casey Schwanz. Okay? The front, where in the middle it says west wall, just the intention here is to note that it is now just a one-story structure. Okay? And the things that are being built are, where it says west wall, that's the garage. And then there's also some new construction on the south side of the house. If you flip it over, the garage, the thing marked bedroom, and then the covered patio. That's the new construction. Okay, but the garage, and actually the entire thing now is just one story. Okay, the garage side then would be the side yard on that. It's a single story. Required setback is 4 feet. Kyle measured that up at 5.5 to 6 feet, and for sure there's going to be no overhang.
No overhang.
So anyway, everything is in order. That's been approved. Bob Wessington's has also been approved. Everything's ready.
Do you know what Casey's putting on the siding? Just regular vinyl?
It's vinyl to match the house.
And then they're putting on that new bedroom? Is that
That is
the new
a
room
new
then,
bedroom.
where that slab is now?
Second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Bolton. Reese.
Yes.
Moller.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Is that all in one or separate?
Yep, separate. It's a fence permit, not a building permit. So if we can have that as a separate motion, that has been approved also.
I'll second it. Roll call.
Moller.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Bolton. Reese.
Yes.
We're ready for the library, Gene.
Okay.
You can stand however you like.
Hi, I'm Jean Hedrick, and I'm the chairperson of the Finance Committee for the Lakeview Library Edition. We need to raise $125,000 to complete this project. The Library Edition will give the city of Lakeview a very nice, accessible venue that can be used by residents and businesses for a nominal cost. This room can be used as one large meeting room or 2 individual spaces. It will also increase the amount of space for children and adult books, DVDs, magazines, and puzzles. According to the State Library Association, our library is undersized in these areas. Okay, we are asking you for similar funds that you gave Black Hawk Lake Protective Association, and also to include the mass mailing expenses. We very much appreciate your support.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for her? I think that is a no. And we're looking to get some funds to the library, we take it out of the general fund, correct?
I think that'd be the best place for it. There's a spreadsheet in there for the council, that's on page 5, about those projected fund balances. Just, if we would look at as donation, it most likely would come from there's the influence.
I'll make that motion for 30,000.
Does that include the mailing?
Plus the mailing one.
So plus the mailing?
Roll call.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Bolton. Yes. Reese.
Yes.
Moller.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Thanks to the library board, you guys worked really hard doing this.
Now, wait, we're still talking a little bit of library stuff though,
Okay.
and it has to do with still plan development on that. That was in the council memo about having any additional professional assistance to finish out those plans. We do have somebody we could hook up through Wall Lake Lumber who could help us combine the building plans, electric, plumbing, and HVAC plans to be into one set of plans that could then go out to bid. So this fee, though, would be between $11,000 and $14,000. You know, having said that, it's still substantially cheaper than the architecture fee was that we had been proposed initially. So we still want to continue to look at some other options. You know, I think we got a little bit of time yet. We're already failed to meet our timeline that I laid out for you at one of the previous council meetings. But I would like to see if we can come up with any other type of professional assistance to help us out that might not be that much. Otherwise, we may be back talking about utilizing that service.
Where is it that you think you're gonna get funds cheaper?
Just potentially finding somebody else, somebody who knows somebody willing to do us a favor more than anything else.
Do we know anybody like that?
Yeah. Not right offhand.
I mean, will this figure stay?
That's the figure now as far as the estimated cost, $11,000.
But it is just an estimate.
Just an estimate. You know, just also note what the services are, though, because I'd bring that to your attention too. A trip down to the site, preparing documents and specs, shop drawing review, and then answering questions during bidding and construction. You know, those things were not proposed to be done by anybody. And that could be a shortcoming in the project if we don't have that type of a system. You know, like the shop drawing review, lots of times that's, you think, man, I just submitted a shop drawing for the paper towel dispenser. Not that big of a deal, but a lot of times shop drawings really are important in making sure that you're getting the right product that you're paying for. Those are the type of things that you know, I don't feel really qualified or feel comfortable reviewing those types of things. We would not have shop drawing review on our plans if we bid this as a local project.
I would hate to think that we would take a shortcut on a project like this.
I wonder if we're kicking the can down the road because we don't know who's gonna give us any, we have no idea that we can get a better bid.
That's true.
And the lumberyard is working with us, so I'm just wondering if we should.
It's from Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, South Dakota is this engineer.
I just don't think you're gonna get anyone.
I don't either.
Yeah, I'd tell you, I'm certainly okay with the dollars because in relative terms, it's still relatively inexpensive. Compared to what we used to see.
We need a motion
We
on
can
that?
put a figure between the,
I guess, yeah, do you want to proceed? Do you want us to proceed, or do you want us to get a proposal first and then take action on it?
A bid proposal, so it'd be definite. I think so.
Will do.
I think that ends the library if you guys want to leave or stay. We're done, unless you want to stay. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about the lagoon, so you're okay.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good luck with the fundraising.
Yeah, sure.
So this estimate cost, how big is that? Gunshot estimate cost,
It's a guess until it goes to bid.
Yeah, you probably don't.
I'm sure that's awful.
Awful.
Is it filtered water?
Filtered water. It's also half, so yeah, it doesn't taste just a little.
That's right, that's a lot.
What kind do you know?
Yeah.
Nothing to order?
Well, yeah, and we won't be here. Why don't you check this around for a while? Are you staying?
Yeah.
Okay, well, how do you do that?
Yeah, there you go.
Work too much. Get home and get a good pill in you, okay? Sleep well.
Brent, you want to give us an update on the Speaker Park sidewalk project?
Yes. Good evening. My name is Brent Muggenberg, and I'm here on behalf of Lakeview Town Pride Committee to seek council support for the installation of sidewalk on the perimeter of Speaker Park. The plan we have developed would add a 6-foot wide sidewalk along the southeast side of the park, the west side of the park, and the north side of the park. These paths connect with sidewalks already existing along the southern and eastern side of the park. We feel that this project would provide several benefits for residents and visitors to our park. First is that it would improve accessibility between the various features of the park. Currently, pedestrians seeking to cross the park from east to west can do so only by crossing grassy areas or on streets. And those options might not always be ideal for those who may have difficulty walking or maybe pushing strollers. Second benefit is that it would facilitate additional forms of recreation in our park by becoming an ideal route for walking or jogging. Last but not least, the sidewalk along the western and northern sides of the park would boost safety for persons using the shelter house. Currently, persons which park along the street, along those streets, must walk to the shelter house either across lawns or on the street, which is not always ideal. We have received an estimate for this project which runs at about $70,000. Potential sources of funding would include grants from the Sac County Endowment Fund, which would fund up to a maximum of $25,000. Possibly Wellmark and the Resource Enhancement and Protection would be. We're also looking at applying for other grants and to hold a fundraiser. Even with these grants, if we were successful, we'd still expect the city of Lakeview would have to put some money towards this project. With the council's approval, we'd like to begin chasing the grants that we are targeting for this project. And that would be this fall with the Sac County Endowment Fund grants. With that, I'd like to thank you for your time and answer any questions you might have.
Well, I think it's a good program. I think the high cost, I'd like to go from the shelter house east, shelter house south, just do half this year, half next year. That's what I think, something council calls.
Break it up into a couple phases or something
Yeah,
like
I think that would be easier to do it with the grants twice. The shelter from the SCTV.
That might not be a bad idea.
I think it's a great idea, I just think 70,000 is,
No, I agree. It's a
Right.
pretty price.
Well, it kind of depends on wellness, doesn't it? I mean, sometimes we think in a big deal, because I mean, it's almost like a walking, I don't know how far around there it is, how far, you know,
Well, I had measured that, and I'm gonna tell you it's 0.38 miles.
I don't know, I mean, if you could tie it in with some kind of a wellness thing, you might want to do it all, I don't know.
And see, that's with the Walmart grant. If we were to pursue that, it could almost have to be something to do with wellness.
What?
You get good videos.
Because Lorville got money, they got money for that trail over there, and part of the trail was already there, and they just completed it. I think we got 10 grand maybe from somebody, I can't remember who. Anyway, so do you you'll have to get bids?
That, yeah, we just got an estimate right now. We haven't done anything as far as bids.
But But I mean, you have to get a bid before you do the endowment.
That,
I need to submit a quote, which I have. So this quote is, it's a quote, it's really loose.
Okay, okay. So, I don't know. I get what John's saying, I just don't know it. What if you don't get it? And then the cost keeps going up. I wonder, I don't know.
You know, if you would do the whole project versus just pieces, if you do the whole project all at once. Because the equipment, everything's there.
Well, they won't bring any bulldozers for mobilization, but it still takes time to do it, I'm sure.
Well, that west side will be a little bit of a challenge there along with that shelter house. That's pretty steep grade right there. You know, right around that shelter house, that open shelter house, is a pretty steep grade. So they're gonna have to do some work there.
yeah.
I don't know, I kind of think go for the whole project, that's just my opinion, but I certainly endorse this. I think this is a good thing. Whatever the council decides.
Okay, can we go after these grants, and once we get these, who determine it's gonna be, then we can determine what size of project we're gonna do? Or not?
We have to have,
Don't they wanna know, you know, basically what the project is?
Okay.
I mean, you're able to do some of them in phases, you know. You can say, well, this is the first phase of this welcome zone, this is the second phase. You can do stuff like that, but it has to be written that way, doesn't it? Right? That
It
we have
does.
a phase.
It does.
And that's what I
Option.
think, John is thinking with the SMTE grant that, you know, you can do this as phase one, as phase two. And I'm okay with that too, it doesn't seem like that big a budget.
It's just gonna be a walking route. You do need 6 brothers.
I think that's how we, with the new sidewalks that we have down there, to tie into those.
Well, I was down there this summer and there was a grandmother and the daughter and the kids. And she hollered at me and she's like, Vicki, let me tell you what we need. We need a sidewalk, so they're pushing the stroller through across that grass, you know, so unless you go down to the memorial entrance, you know, there's no real entrance to the playground, so unless you drive, and they had pushed, you know, they've been walking, so.
So you're gonna allow bicycles on it then?
I don't think bicycles should be on the sidewalks and they're on the sidewalks, so I don't know.
Well, I know, but that's different on the park than just downtown. I think it gotta be allowed.
Our bicycle code is that bikes are allowed on sidewalks all around town, except for except for downtown, Main Street area.
Kids riding downtown, I tell you, somebody coming out of that post office, somebody's gonna be free.
Well,
Free.
if they're riding the sidewalk in the park, you've got mothers out there pushing strollers.
But they ride it now. I mean, they ride the one by the lake. There's always bikes on it, you know.
And with sometimes that's a good thing, you have young kids, keep them off the street.
Yeah.
And like that.
That's what I said.
So I think we want to widen, I think we wanted to match whatever we got down by. We certainly wanted to match the sidewalk that's already there.
Do we know the guidelines in the Walmart grants are due?
That's in the spring, Walmart.
It's in the spring.
Then somebody will have to write the grant. Does that fall back on grant?
It might.
The success rate is good.
Yeah.
Ride that horse as long as you can.
So what kind of motion do you want?
Well, the other thing is to, well, of course, we're looking for some financial commitment on that, on behalf of the city. We have to match that grant. Even if you're just thinking about Sac County endowments, you gotta match that. You gotta have matching funds from somewhere.
So we would build like maybe 25,000 into next year's budget, is that what we can do?
And some of it be in time.
Some of it can be in town. 40% of our half, 40% of our 50%, I think, can be in town.
Can we do a motion to apply for SCTV?
You know, too, I think, the other thing, I guess, to note for sure is that this has been run through the park board also, park board would endorse the project. So, again, really asking for your endorsement and to apply for grants, but also then a commitment about those matching dollars. And I guess I just suggest that you commit that $25,000 in match money so that we could apply to SCTV for sure. We'd have that one all covered. And if we get nothing else, we'd still be able to do most of the project.
And the SCTV is, when do they announce those? Spring?
It's been around Christmas, and then last year was a month or two later. And
We still got time to put it in, right?
yeah, they haven't even given the application date. I would anticipate middle of October for the application.
Well,
We need a motion to commit 25.
I make that motion.
Second.
and then apply for these grants, is the city and rec gonna work together on this, is that how we're gonna?
I'll
Okay,
do all.
that's,
Roll call.
I think get as many as you can. I mean, you know, other ones too.
Yeah, but we'll be looking, there's some out there.
Especially like maybe trail things.
Possibly.
Could probably, I mean, it could be a trail.
Can't we realize the fact that we already bring place?
No.
That one's
No,
public.
Can't do that.
no.
That's a one-time deal.
Okay.
no motion.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not that one.
Okay, Moller,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Holton, Thomas,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Okay, 1844, approving the street financial report.
Financial report, these numbers, it's on page 9, those, just know that those numbers are then as of the end of June. So,
Thanks, Brett.
yes,
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Yep, thank you.
in the lower right, in its line L, that's what I really call your attention to about ending fund balances, 102,000 in road use tax, and another 42,000 in street funds. It's about $145,000 as of then will be available for street construction. We budgeted street money again for this year also, but we do not have a street project put together for this year. We'll turn around and probably budget some more money then for next year and look to do a composite, a larger project than combined together.
So you're wanting to not do any this year, or you like what,
Yeah, you know, so we got this contractor coming in to raise the manholes and do those intakes. That's about it. Got any other street project stuff in there?
Seventh Street. Just don't have the time this year.
I think at some point, and I know it's not real popular, but I think at some point, we need to finish Lake Shore Drive. I mean, I think we committed that, and then we didn't do it, we kind of ran out of money, and I don't know that it needs to be top of the line, but that is really bad back there.
Yeah, we committed that money 4 or 5 years ago. For Lake Shore Drive,
Only
to
half.
do the whole thing,
Right, only half
but
of
then we
it.
only did half.
We have a sewer issue at the north end we need to look at.
I know what's going on there. We just checked it last week, it was fine.
Oh, but who knows? We need a motion on resolution 1844.
I'll make it.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Holton, Tom.
Yes.
Okay, our safety coordinator got too expensive.
Well, you'll have to make that decision there, council, but, so for years, for now more than 20 years, we have gotten our safety training classes delivered through these safety clusters. We're in a west central Iowa safety cluster with other communities. So, and this is through the Iowa Association of Municipal Utilities. They provide the instructors who would travel out to a community within our region, and then everybody from the region would go to this other community and we'd receive our safety training that way. And it's worked pretty well as far as providing the safety training. Now, IAMU really wants to move away from that model and move to a model where they would hire a safety person for a cluster of towns. And that one safety person is responsible for all of the safety training. Other than some specialized stuff, like electrical stuff, they'll still do through IAMU, but they'd be responsible for safety training And then all of these other supplemental safety issues. You know, whether it's written program compliance, or all of these inspections that are done, and you customize your lockout tagout program and job hazard analysis, and everything that's listed on this sheet on page 10. A lot of those things are not provided through our safety class structure that we have now. And in some respects, they're just not done.
So they're not really required then.
You know, boy, we really need to have updated written safety programs. And we have some of it, but it's been a long time since it's been reviewed.
So like on here, it says fee for their services. What's the fee for these services that aren't listed then? Additionally, if you were to do them?
Yeah, and they do the individual fees for those services, like hearing tests and stuff. It's listed as a fee for service, and we've utilized that before so that they could do our hearing tests for us. I guess when you get right down to it, the costs are significantly higher.
But do you know what they're going, do you know what they're going to charge you to do that this year? If you stay with the way you've done it before?
Yeah, it will be roughly the same.
And they're gonna do that for at least another year, or
Yes.
they're gonna see how this rolls, or?
Even if they were to get this implemented, there's a good chance that the implementation of this is probably July of '21. So for short term, the status quo probably is what would happen. What they're gonna find out, based upon our regional meeting, is that they'll have a tough time with the economics of it. That folks are just gonna find it too expensive. And they'll continue then along the same type of program. They're gonna always have the traveling instructors. They just may do away with the defined regions and still do training in certain sections of the state, and you just pick the training that you would go to.
So I'll make a motion that we stick with this program the way we have in the past. It's not a very good motion, we're reading this.
I'll second
Work,
it.
it'll work. Roll call.
So what is that, we let this podcast out?
$2,342 a year. Okay.
Roll call.
Tom,
Yes.
Mulder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Golden, Stein.
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that downtown parking.
And take a look at that sketch. Page 11. So this kind of a two-pronged approach here that proposes to create angled parking spaces on the west side of Vine Street, there on the north block, behind the bar, behind the front of the market, that area, to create these angled parking spaces. At our business meeting downtown, Jennifer Reeder asked this question I didn't know the answer about. So if this creates 19 parking spaces by doing it this way, what do we have by just keeping parallel spots as they currently are? And my estimate then was 12 on parallel spots. So I know the bill has some concerns about the angled parking issue. You want to talk through that a little bit, Bill?
Con Agri was the grain bin right there at the bottom. That's where they actually park on the street to load that grain bin. And with that parallel parking, I don't think you're gonna have room for one vehicle to get by there. Right. And then you got, a lot of people use the scale for weighing, they're coming in and out there all the time too.
I'm not so sure one-way street would work.
Well, the only thing about that is, my thought was, what about the ambulance part?
Well, I ain't recommended a one-way street. I said, if you did that angle parking, that'll only make it accessible for a one-way street. I would never propose a one-way street. And you're right, we go out there all the time in the fire trucks too, and ambulance.
So it's 43 feet wide. Didn't you compare it to Main Street at one time as a resident?
I have, but the distance, why,
But that's too narrow. To be real honest about that Main Street.
But it works.
Well, yeah, but you don't have any tailgate now, we don't have it.
Because the pickups are too big.
Well, mine,
Some of them are.
but the tailgate's sitting out, I wouldn't want to leave out there.
a couple other things in regards to this diagonal parking issue. You see the number 4 and the number 2. Those are spots that are proposed to be made off-street parking. So number 2 is behind Nate Moore's, and he would look to do a couple off-street parking spaces there. Number 4 is the backside of the farmer's market. Now, as we talked with Bill, that number 4 may really be 3, just as far as spacing goes. There may only be 3 spaces. But we talked about having the back, say the back third of the farmer's market spot paved out in concrete, and then it could actually then become 3 off-street parking spaces, primarily to be used during the winter for off-street parking for snow removal purposes.
I think that is an excellent idea. So when Nate gets his place up, there's gonna be a no parking sign covering those 2 parking places. You know, so there'll be no more street parking behind his place. So the farmer's market would still be that way except for in winter. Well, it would still be that way except for in winter. Then there'd be no parking there either. I don't know how you're gonna do that. You're gonna put a sign up, no parking.
Yeah.
No parking.
No parking
December through
sometimes.
March or what?
I can imagine that.
I don't know, but you're gonna lose some parking there. I don't know, I know Jennifer was concerned, she thought there was maybe more parking this way, and the ambulance and the fire truck is an issue.
Because they can park on both sides of the street, otherwise they can't.
Parking.
Is that the next lot?
Out of this parking.
The ambulance shed, I know it doesn't look right here, but it kind of sits, doesn't sit past the corner, does it? It's right on the corner, isn't it?
Well, straight into the street.
You're really out of this parking.
I just think maybe we need to measure it or look at it better. I don't know.
Well, Bill's trial, his trial out of this thing was that you take the pickup, park the diagonal in what would be a stall. And then you get the visual effect of how big the remaining road is. And it just is concerned. But I guess on this, you know, we need to take a look at downtown parking
It's kind of a hard
sometime. But it doesn't necessarily have to happen right now. We don't have anything that's pending immediately about needing these additional spaces. Although the one thing that I would suggest to you is to consider that parking lot on the east side of the alley.
I would like to see that done before winter.
I think that has a lot of merit, because that is just an immediate answer to our downtown residents about where they can park during snow removal. You know, it won't be convenient for them, it's still more than a block away from their place, but it is someplace that you can offer them, especially for snow.
We got to skin that sod off, Bill, and put some rock or.
I hear good and bad about laying that black, whether that paper stuff is down. Frost boils last year, pushed it up and it had nowhere to go.
You see there's a number there, 4,500. That is 6 inches of white rock on that area. You know, in my mind, it was, skin the sod off and put in 6 inches.
You're talking about a liner, Bill, or?
It's like a roofing fell, you know, you put on your roof.
Weed barrier.
Used to get it. The idea was so the rock would push down into the mud.
Great base.
That,
If it's real soft, that ain't gonna hold that.
that sidewalk is.
Well, frost pushed it up and you get this big boil, you know.
Look at how many times they've covered that school.
We did, yeah, school did this, I guess school did that.
We keep losing.
When the
it
kids
about
burn
every
out
year.
though, they burn right down to that black.
I always said they do the driveways up there, so they couldn't peel out, they drown the crank. Well,
We need to decide if we're gonna spend $4,500.
Yeah, that's the cost estimate for that parking lot. And that's really just the rock.
I'd like to make a motion that we all have with that. I think we need to have the area and whatever you guys decide, is the best way to do that. Even if it's just rock, it's just an underutilized place right now. Especially during the winter. And during carnival, it's pretty fun.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Tom,
Yes.
Ola,
Yes.
Reese,
no.
Waltman. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I hope you got the time.
I don't know, John.
You always seem to do it.
Well, you're gonna have to have somebody like you, somebody deal with that anyway.
What's the reason to peel the grass off?
Yeah, I don't even know what around the rocks on top.
If we don't have the time to do it, then
Yeah, but I mean, what's the reason to peel the grass off?
Would that give a better base for the
Better
rock?
base.
It was just dirt.
Actually, the grass is probably almost better.
He asked John, he would
Yeah.
have answered it.
Whatever you work out will be fine. Okay, we need pay estimate 14 for Goodman Hicks.
Yeah, everything is in order for the pay estimate.
I'll make the motion to do that.
Second,
I'll second.
roll call.
Ola,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Waltman. Reese.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, now we have to consider a request for Goodman Hicks.
Yeah. So, did the request for the time extension. So currently, the contract states that they need to be in operation as in treating waste by October 15th, and all work completed then by November 30th. You know, and as we talked to them tonight, they estimated that they were a couple months behind. So this request came from Beansford and Keenan. Says substantial completion by November 30th, and then project completion by December 31st. And the letter starts on page 15 about laying out the rationale for why that is. And I know we've asked them questions. The main question being, why didn't you ever work Friday? You know, you never work more than 40 hours a week. And just those numbers are laid out there as far as what the additional cost is. That's their rationale. Anyway, there is the request for the time extension.
I make the motion to do it.
Do we need to make the motion now? Can we table it? Why would we wanna? What's to stop them then from carrying the team anymore? If they're not gonna be held to the fire forever. We lose our leverage, is what I'm thinking. I mean, that's up to you guys, but I think the city should be, do some negotiating with them first of all. If we give it up for everything that forces them to do the job and do it well.
I kind of disagree in the fact that trying their best to get it done. The reason they're not getting it done is basically because of the weather. You know, it's not like they're not working their butts off out there trying to get it done.
But I agree with, I mean, I don't think you wanna give them too much.
I'm not
They
saying,
might go start another job.
Yeah, is that something we have to decide right now? What about like
Right.
1 month from
Yeah,
now?
well, are you thinking that, can we do that at the end of the current
I mean, we're still, what, 4 weeks away? March?
Month from the contract.
So do it at the end of the month.
Just see what's, yeah, just see how things are moving along, because they've got extra people out there now. I mean, they've got, you know, contractors, you know, they sublet out some stuff, so I mean, I just don't wanna give up our, in case that something goes different. We gotta figure out something that's right for the city too. I mean, if we're gonna give them an extension on their time, we need an extension on our warranty. You know, look, when I was out there talking to him, he said he's real confident on how everything's working, how everything's laying out, everything should be real positive about, they're confident that the job's gonna get done right. So, if we negotiated, an extension on the warranty for, say, 1 year, and it really won't cost them anything if they're that confident that everything's gonna be okay. And that just gives us the sense of another year to watch if there's anything that might go wrong. You know, born through that hill, that's a touchy thing there. I mean, they're confident it's gonna work, but what about after 2 years, you heard them say that they had sand in there. Will that settle anything? Will that bind anything? You know, I'm no expert, I'm just trying to protect the city's interest on options, and it's a give and take on both sides. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, I'm not telling them that we should, and I think we should think about that. And at least propose it, to think about how it should be done. Whether we let them know now or 2 weeks from now, it won't make that much difference.
We do have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Well, can we kind of let them know that we're not opposed to it, but we don't want to make any decision until that time? I mean, is that?
Oh, yeah, I'm not trying to blindside anybody here, I'm just trying to keep our options open until it really comes down to crunch time. And that, you know, they've got subs out there working, and they probably work more than 40 hours a week. You know, so they might get more done than what they think they would do.
Well, like Peter does, I'm sure.
Well,
Not necessarily, you know, everybody, just know that all work out there is covered under that Davis Bacon wage.
okay, well, then that's up to you. I'd say wait, but you look
Yeah,
at it.
it's-
So, can I just reword the motion?
Okay,
That we'd like to wait, just wait until, and, November 30th.
well, it's October 15th.
You'd have to make a decision at the council meeting.
You know, I guess timing wise, if you want to look at tabling this, it can work out okay. We don't have a council meeting again for another 2 weeks. That'd be October 7th to reconsider that. If you want to make that proposal about requesting 1 more year warranty, we run that up the old flagpole.
I'll just resend it. Just table it,
So we'll take no action. This time. Can we mark the
Well, other than, like I say, we'll have that discussion with them about that warranty, adding one more year on.
See what happens.
Okay, how about our new flood insurance rate? That's vital information.
You know,
Gonna come out and decide it and try to know.
I just want to show you. Two. Yep, time movie time. So I gave you that link to this online, and if you want to see our maps, this would be the best way to do it, is online. let me show you what we have always had for a map. And that's been our flood map.
Is that the lake?
This is only part of the lake. This little jut out here is North Shore. That was the only part that was in the city limits, of course, for a long time. We didn't have a flood map that even included everything in the city limits. This one was from 1980. And we just now have gotten updated flood maps that, with technology, of course, they're just so much more precise. But the impact is pretty dramatic. There's an impact to us with that being so easy to determine what's in and out of a floodplain anymore. Means there's never any question about whether you need to enforce these other requirements. So let me get to where we want to go here first. I had this all right exactly where I wanted it to be. And then obviously when the computer went to sleep. There you go. When you get it in close enough, it changes to this fancy aerial photography now. And it just takes a long time to load. So we're just gonna wait here for a second and it'll pop up. There it is. Okay. The key is over on the lower left hand side, and so any of the numbers there, you know, where it's got 50% annual probability. Okay, you get down to the one that says 1% annual probability. Okay, that is the 100-year floodplain. So that is that lighter teal color. So we do have some areas that are affected by this. Then I lost it. It'll come back here.
But that's the area that is identified, is that what you were saying?
Yeah. So now this map is right up there at Provost. And this is the biggest area in town that is in a floodplain. Okay? So the red basically is the lake, but you look at any of the green colors, that's all included in our floodplain. So that's out there on the point, on Provost Point. And when we had our old maps, you could look at the old map and say, yeah, the very point of Provost Point was in our floodplain. When you look at that now, and you can, especially with it overlaid on the aerial photograph, you can see exactly which cabin it is that they're referring to as far as being in the floodplain. Okay? So, what does that mean? That means that if you're in that 100-year floodplain, and you want to do any type of substantial construction project, you need to get a floodplain development permit. And the biggest things out of that, lowest floor then is 1 foot above that 100-year flood elevation. And you got to use flood-resistant construction methods and materials. So over the years, and this is even precedes me by quite a bit, Lakeview has enrolled in the National Flood Insurance Program. And in order to participate in the National Flood Insurance Program, you got to live by all of these permitting requirements and all of the new construction requirements.
So when they do the new construction, do they get that permit from us or the DNR?
Several people, because there'd be a floodplain permit through the DNR, and then there'd be a floodplain permit through the city also.
So you're talking about the one cabin out there? I mean,
You know,
so why
but-
is like, what's her name's, Janice's, isn't that where the old marina was?
Yeah, you can see the old marina there, and these
That's
are
in
the
the floodplain?
low-lying lands around the marina. Yeah.
Well, it is low. Wow. So nobody can do any construction there, or is, that old marina isn't in it? What is that other building?
The old marina's not in it, yeah.
Is this the marina?
That's that new-
Is this the
new
marina, or is
It
this
is.
the marina?
No, you were
This
right
is the
first time.
marina.
No.
This one?
Yeah.
The other ones are,
And that next one right there, that's that new storage building that Jimmy built, next to the
Oh.
marina.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, you know, if we would have known this, I think back in the day, you should have built that to appropriate standards, which would raise the floor
Okay.
1 foot above the 100-year
You
floodplain.
bet.
Okay, but just, again, there's implications here that we never really had to live by before,
Okay,
because
you bet.
it was not at all definitive where the
Thank you.
areas were. Okay, Provost is the biggest one. There's a little bit in Town Bay. There's some, all of the area is now mapped on the east side of the lake, and there's some on the southeast corner. This has the most impact. There will be
What's on the
Provost.
southeast corner?
Right by Tommy Schrader's condos now.
Really?
Yeah.
But you also have to be in a floodplain to get flood insurance, right?
No, you can get it anywhere.
Oh, I didn't
But
think I
You
thought
can get it, and actually the costs then are not very much if you're not in a floodplain.
Hmm.
But you
If you're in a
can,
floodplain, sometimes you can't get it.
or the costs go up dramatically.
So you're saying that over there by where the little condos were, that they did construction over there, that we should have required that then? Is that what you're saying?
No, they didn't do any structural alterations of them, so I guess you could say that it wouldn't really be necessary. But they built that new garage over there. We would have had to have known for sure that the elevation, the floor elevation of that garage was a foot higher than the 100-year floodplain.
So how are you gonna monitor this, like when building permits come in? Are you going to have a list of addresses that are in this plain?
Yeah, that, really we have to do it that way. Because it is so definitive now, you can figure out down to the address who's involved.
Right, because I'm guessing there's some cabins there along the point?
Yes, yep, a lot of those out there in the green, right by where it says Provost Point, of course, those are all involved. But the ones you go further to the left down the street a little bit, I would have never thought that there was any additional floodplain on the north side of Provost, but there's that area there.
Huh.
So, now that we have our new maps, there's some public input process now that we'll be following, that we do have to hold some informational meetings on this. And our area really is small enough that we could send out personal invites to anybody who's affected and have this informational meeting, which will actually be coordinated through the DNR and their floodplain people. They're the ones who would take care of this.
That's a good idea.
Now, as we continue to learn more and more about this, there's actually a meeting this Thursday at 2 o'clock up at SAC. So they just are getting the county-wide stuff done now too, in the meetings for really county-wide stuff up there. So I want to stop up there for a little bit, but it's Northwest Iowa League meeting day that day. So anyway, this is it's FYI for you about knowing that this change is out there, but that it also makes us much more obligated then to enforce all of our flood stuff, because the information is so much better than it ever used to be.
very good. Royce, do you have any updates on the nuisances?
Well, I just noticed today, I've been on vacation for a week, it was wonderful. People are still kind of working away at it. I want to bring up, when you do something like this, you have the Me Too-isms. We're gonna have to do something about the door leaning on City Hall.
I suppose that's true.
So, that's always no matter what, if you talk to somebody, they're gonna rat out somebody else. They always do, when you're under a microscope.
I was wondering about it, but I didn't say nothing.
So, but everybody's at least plugging the light, but, John and I, are you gonna be around tomorrow, John?
Yes.
We have a mission to go on to check on something. I had another thing brought to my attention today.
So, what citations or what have you issued since the last council meeting?
Since the last one, I haven't done a lot, I haven't been around a lot, but, they dismissed on the car because he took care of it. He had to pay the court costs on it. That was about it. So I just went around, checked on everybody and talked to people again.
And how did that go?
Well, we get the Me Too-isms, or what about isms, I guess they're
So
called.
for
But
instance.
I think they're working on it pretty well though, or at least trying, putting forth the effort.
Do you really?
I do.
I don't see it. I look.
No.
So what has been done at the property on South Lake?
The one we talked about, they were out pulling weeds tonight just before I came to the council meeting.
Are
They
they?
were in the backyard pulling weeds out of the garden. Yep, I drove through the alley and they were back there and I talked to them about it. They're at least putting forth a good faith effort, I think.
I don't know, let me say, your good faith effort and mine are not the same, so, I don't know, I'd like to see more teeth in this, so, can we, what does the rest of the council think, can we do anything? Cause I'm frustrated. By the time they pull a few weeds, the next week, the weeds are back, I mean, unless, I don't know. I read the ordinance says we can go in and clean it up if they don't, and we assess the property.
Right.
And what point do we do that?
That's something you have to decide, I guess, that, put forth the expense to doing that. Well, I have a thought. Now, go ahead and kick it down the road if you want, or say no, or tell them the next council meeting, we're gonna discuss going ahead and doing it, and if it's not done by then, we're gonna come in and do it. Give them a warning that it's coming.
A written warning?
It can be written, it can be told, just,
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's-
discuss it at the next council meeting.
I'd rather it was in writing.
Yeah, but, the first time that they're given notice of violation, it includes the
A date.
opportunity for hearing, which is really what Royce was talking about. They always have opportunity for hearing before the council about whether a nuisance exists, and nobody rarely ever takes advantage of that opportunity for hearing.
So are they just
So if you
waiting
don't,
for someone else to come in and do it for them?
well, so here's the legal side of the opportunity for
I-
hearing. You have opportunity for hearing, you don't take that opportunity, there is a presumption that the nuisance exists.
Right.
Right.
It has to be abated, and if it's not abated, the
See,
city,
that's
the
a-
rights of the cities are there.
I think they feel like nothing's gonna happen, that's what I think they think, no, this will go away too, and so they putter around a little bit at it, they don't really make, Casey Schwann's did, because I think we took some legal action there.
We actually got a lot of the big ones taken care of, it's smaller ones. What's that?
175.
They're still working at it, but I know they,
Yeah.
They've been working on that.
There's a boat out there, can't be licensed, it's got weeds growing around it.
Citation,
Never had
start
a
writing.
I want something stronger from the police department, so can you have your officers help you with this, can it be a whole department? Because it seems like you're on vacation or you're busy with other things, and I understand that, you're the department head, and you've got a lot of things to cover. But you got that team behind you. Do you have a reason that you don't want to pull them in and have them help?
no, I've always done it myself, and I think, if I'm the one doing
If we
it.
go in and clean that up, then, what we spend taxpayers' money to do that, then
You can assess the cost back to them.
Now you assess the bill.
You
And they
assess
put it on
it,
their taxes.
it goes on their
If
tax.
we do it, we're not gonna do that properly.
You think we are going to clean up, use that fall back?
Yeah. One more thing.
I don't think that's the ideal solution, that's not what we wanna do, but I'm saying that what we're doing right now is not working. They don't feel like they have to, I think they just think it'll go away. And I think it has to be shown that it's not gonna go away. We have some properties, you know, the one on South Lake has been that way for as long as I've lived in this community, 27 years. It's only got maybe worse. I don't see where anything's been done in 27 years down there. They put a fence up, so now the fence is covered with weeds inside, outside, I don't even know what's inside. I don't. So if we need to pick 1 or 2, 3 properties that are the worst and, you know, give them a sterner citation that says you've got 30 days or whatever and otherwise.
Again, for the next council meeting, we're gonna discuss it. If it's not done, we're gonna commit the council vote to do it.
If somebody's gonna wait, can we hire somebody to do it, and then we just pay them guys, and then we put it in this.
I don't know how that works.
That save Bill from doing it.
Yeah.
We can do that, or for cutting grass and whatnot, send our parks where it's at. The other option, though, is citations. And
Money talks.
And when you're working through a citation, you know, you're saying, I'm willing to wait for the result, but you can also then ask for that court order to do it. Takes the city off the hook, you know, as far as liability, as far as ever doing anything cleanup. You're just enforcing the court order.
So explain this to me again, exactly how you're gonna go through it.
So if you cite them, you can ask for the cleanup
Right.
authorization also.
Right. Which actually goes through Dave then, and there will be some expense to that.
That's why I would rather see your department handle it, but if we're not gonna move any farther. So, can a notice from you say that we're going to give them a monetary citation?
I would like to, before we do that, because some citations are gonna cost us money too, because we have to pay an attorney if they choose to come there. I would say the next council meeting, we're gonna vote, clean up your property if you don't do it right.
We'll have to have pictures of what we want to clean.
Right.
I think pictures would be better.
Because if they can do it, anything we do is gonna cost us money. If they do it, it won't.
But if the citation you're saying is gonna cost us money, right, to go that route?
Right, because we have to pay an attorney.
Right,
If they fight.
Can't that,
If
but
they
can't
fight.
that fee also be turned around and put on the,
Sure.
on the assess?
Sure.
Or not?
Not necessarily, but
Oh, it should
fight
be.
it.
the loser doesn't always pay court costs, right?
What's that? Yeah, you'll have to pay court costs, which is $60, but that doesn't come back to the city, that goes to the judge's retirement fund. So, if they choose to fight it, we'll have to pay an attorney.
That's the only one we're gonna put teeth in.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, what exactly is the plan?
I'll just go ahead and start charging them with it.
Do you have a list that you're gonna work with Scott on or something, or how you're gonna
Oh,
start?
I've got a list.
But you can still delegate to some of your
Sure.
other staff, right, to do that.
You know, as long as I'm gonna charge them, it's just a matter of typing it out quick, so.
Look at that.
All right.
Very good. City administrator report?
Yeah, the one thing there is
Thank you,
replacing
Royce.
Thank you, sir.
that highway wayfinding sign. I told you it'd be about $400 or $500. The cost is higher than anticipated. It was about $400 or $500 per piece. $954 is the cost to replace that one wayfinding sign. And if you'd like to do that,
I make a motion that we purchase it.
I'll second it.
Roll call. Good. Agenda item. Legal. Roll call.
Thompson,
Yes.
Muller,
Yes.
Reese, Bolton, thank you.
Yes.
Bill, you can find a home for this door out here.
A couple other things for you on the source water protection plan. So we're getting our kickoff meeting lined up, and that's what this trifold was there on your desk tonight. okay? Just know that that is October 1st, 6 o'clock at the shelter house, and I'd very much like for the mayor and council to attend. Okay?
October 1st.
Yeah, so this will just be the kickoff meeting going. There is a staff member from, did I never hand those out? There'll be a DNR staff member who really leads this discussion. She's done lots of substantial work on our plan already. But we're looking for the public input side of the plan also. And it's not just the urban folks, not people just from town. We'll engage some farmers then with it too, because that's where a lot of the water quality concerns that are always put at the feet of farmers. But the corn growers, I have corn growers who are actually sponsoring dinner then for the night. They do a catered meal. So anyway, plan on that.
So how does the public get notified of this?
So working with several groups, okay? So like mayor and council, planning and zoning group, we talked with them individually, okay? The Black Hawk LPA, we talked with the board individually there too, and the board is responsive, a few of those will come. Then we'll do some mass notifications through email to all of the LPA members, okay? But then we'll also do NRCS, Soil and Water Conservation. Those folks will invite their office staff. And then there will be a public notification also that'll just be again, a mass email sent out to the newsletter. So we have.
How many people do you anticipate?
She said the most they've ever had is 24.
Make a lot of reservations, that's
The best.
Yeah, if we get a lot of people, I guess that's for one kickoff meeting, that's great, and then kind of winnow down from there.
Is it final?
Tuck pointing contractor will be around to start on Monday, October 14th, so a month from now. The Catalyst grant, we held the training for that Catalyst grant here last week. Just that the timing on this has changed pretty dramatically. Pre-applications for the Catalyst grant now are due on January 31st. So it's pushed it off several months. Pre-applications due January 31st and full applications due April 17th. And then grants are actually awarded at the Downtown Summit, which is next summer. So it's.
You mean if you apply for this Catalyst grant, you won't know until next summer?
Next summer.
Where?
Jimmy Durham wants somebody to go to this conference and do it.
So do you think we're gonna get any proposals for 4-H?
We do. I have shown the building to two other interested parties. Now, we'll see what comes of that, but I'd like to think we'll have a proposal at least in maybe 2.
Did anybody attend the?
None of the proper owners. Northwest Iowa League is Thursday up in Lamar.
West Iowa Tourism is Wednesday, December. We have a motion to adjourn. Second. Being adjourned.